This is a Professional Communications for Real Estate Attorneys, Series 1, presented by Kevin Murray of Energize Your Business. This combination of 3 separate modules helps to create greater response to your professional communications. Whether you're reconnecting with past clients, or reaching out to new clients, or connecting with other professional partners to expand your network, these are proven tools that work across all professional businesses. And these tools will help you in attracting new clients more effectively. Total training time is about 31 minutes. The first part of this is how to ask for and receive referrals. Imagine that every client you currently have and every client you ever had referred you a new paying client this year. What would that mean for your business?
Hi, Kevin Murray here. I help business owners attract more clients and build their incomes and their joy by adding some simple tools to supercharge and leverage your sales results. So you probably invest a lot of time and energy and money to get your offer in front of new clients, but you're missing out on the easiest way to get in front of potential clients that are already oriented towards working with you. You know how you finish up a project or complete an engagement with a client or handle a file, and then you put it away and you're on to the next project or next client? Well, we create a lot of goodwill during the client service phase, but how often do you ask for referrals? How often do you actually get some from the clients you just helped? Wouldn't it be great to have something in place that brings in new referred clients all the time?
By watching this video, you'll get 3 great results. Number 1, you'll have an easy-to-use system so you can enjoy a constant stream of referrals and you can start today. Secondly, you'll increase your confidence in how to ask so that asking for referrals is easier. And third, you'll get clearer about the kinds of new clients that you want and will get better at asking for more specific referrals from your happy customers. The bottom line is if you ask for referrals, you'll get some. But unfortunately, most businesses and business owners don't ask for referrals because they haven't prepared themselves to do it.
I've been in sales since 1983, and I've been helping other business owners up-level their results for over 15 years. When I was starting out, I did my best with every client opportunity. I tried to be pleasant, knowledgeable, and helpful, and I tried to close for new business. It didn't really occur to me to ask for referrals from past clients or current clients. When your business is set up this way and you don't have a way to ask for referrals, you're always starting from scratch to create a new client. Can be very tiring. So I worked in a few different industries. Sometimes I sold to homeowners, sometimes I sold to other businesses, but in each case, I didn't really connect the dots about referrals. I thought of sales like a numbers game. The more people I talked to, the more I would sell. And on one level, that's true, but it represents the hard way to get more business. I used to spend a lot of energy getting the client, and then I'd serve them, and then I was on to the next sale or the next client. And I didn't take advantage of a very simple and very old truth.
It's a lot easier to sell someone that is referred to you rather than selling to anyone that finds out about you in some other way. Referred clients are almost always ready to buy. We don't have to work so hard to convince them about us. They're already pre-convinced. Once I finally figured out how to do this in my businesses, I found this to be the easiest and quickest way to get new sales. And then I learned some things along the way to make this process of getting referrals even better and more effective. And I'm going to share those things with you. But first, here are some ways that businesses think about referrals, and these thoughts really get in the way of doing this effectively. Do you have any of these thoughts in your head? Asking for referrals is annoying to my clients. I don't want to ask them for anything. I won't get any anyway. I'm not comfortable asking for referrals. I don't think what I do is great or that different than others. So do you have any of those thoughts in your head? Don't let these thoughts or anything get in the way of moving this process forward. If you're not in the habit of asking every customer every time for referrals, well, this may take some practice, but once you do this, you'll never not do it. You'll wish you learned this years ago, and you'll be so happy that you finally started asking. You'll love earning the easiest sales. And here's another thing to really take in. People love turning other people onto good things they've discovered. Don't you love sharing about great services you got or things that you bought? So does everyone else. So why not give your clients a chance and make it easy for them to share about you? These days, everybody's in love with web marketing, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Now, those are all good, valid marketing channels, but you're usually starting from scratch with these leads. They mostly don't know you at all and don't have any experience of you. When you start by being referred from a client, you start out with a huge advantage where a lot of the risk that new clients might feel has been reduced or eliminated by the good work you did for someone that your referral knows. My premise, the first part, is that business people don't get the referrals they could because they're not asking for referrals. The second part of this premise is that business people aren't asking because they do not have in place practiced and ready to roll referral asking language. So the possibility is that once you have some prepared and practiced referral asking language, you'll be more likely to ask. And the more often you ask, the more often you'll get referrals. So let's go. We got 8 simple steps to cover, and all these are outlined on the PDF that you can download from this page. So step 1, make up a quick list of your best clients, the ones you'd like to have more of. If you can make a good guess, jot down what you think a good client is worth to your business on an annual basis. Step 2, we're going to create your referral asking language by simply filling in the blanks of the next sentences. I'll give some more hints and direction in the next section. Hi, this is Kevin Murray from Energize Your Business. Thank you for your business. We really value you as a client. We're committed to helping our clients attract new customers. Is there anything you need from us or anything that we can do for you right now? Oh no, great, thanks. Well, referrals are the #1 way we get new clients. Can you think of anyone from your Chamber of Commerce that you think would like to hear about Energize Your Business? And we wait, waiting for an answer. And if you get a referral, hey, thank you for the referral. Let me send you an email and you can forward that to them and that will serve as an introduction for us. So let me get that off to you and thanks again for your referral. And then if you don't get the referral, well, thank you for thinking about it. I'll send you a little reminder and I'll try again in a couple weeks. Thanks. So that's it for step 2. Step 3, practice and record what you wrote in step 2. Make sure that the words flow and sound conversational and not scripted. It's possible to do even though it's a script. If the words don't work for you, edit them and record it again until it sounds just like you talking to somebody. Step 4, start making calls. Give yourself a goal to call at least 5 people to start to build a little momentum and practice your language. It'll only take a couple minutes, and the practice and the process could be life-changing. Call someone from your list. Use your 8 sentences and try to stick with them and not go off script. You want to use these words so you can see if they're comfortable to use. If not, tweak them until they're easy and they flow. And remember, as you dial, that each new client is worth a lot of money as you defined back in step 1. Even if you get a voicemail, leave a message using your 8-line script. It works just fine. Try it. Step 5, debrief yourself after this call. Did you get a referral? Did you stay on script? How comfortable was it to use the script? If you want to, edit your script to make it even better. Go back to step 2 and 3 and then make another call. And debrief yourself after each call. Step 6, after you've made your calls and taken notes, you'll probably have an even better script. And you'll have some follow-up to do and some follow-up to schedule. So do the follow-up, send the card, schedule the next call or email. Whatever you said you'd do, do it. Step 7, contact the referral. Introduce yourself and mention who referred you and begin that conversation. Step 8, complete the loop with the referrer. Thank them and let them know that you did contact the referral. This is important because it shows that you value both the referee and the referrer. So the pieces and parts of this referral system, one thing is you don't have to have all these parts ready and prepared before you can start making calls. All you need is the 8 sentences, and you don't really even need those. Just ask for referrals and you'll get some. But what you want to have in place is your call script, that's your 8 sentences. To really be ready to do this, have some follow-up note cards ready to go so you can send those to remind the client that you're looking for referrals. Have some follow-up email language ready to go that reminds the client that you're looking for referrals, and have a new prospect form to record the information about the referral when you connect with them. So here's an advanced idea for the third sentence. We go back to sentence number 3 in these 8 sentences. Work on a short way of saying what you're really committed to. This is the best expression of the impact that you want your clients to get from working with you. There's an exercise to help with this that I created at this website, earthandlight.com, Your Business and Its Impact. So type that in and do that exercise. That'll help out with this sentence. For sentence 4, I want you to think of this as a green light question. You don't want to ask for a referral if there's something that the client wants or needs from you. If there's something they want, provide it. And then after that's done, call them back with the script. If there's nothing that they need or they want, then you have the green light to go ahead with the rest of the call. For sentence number 6, we talk about affiliations versus situations. So when you're asking for a specific referral, this is a great way to help do that. So for affiliation, what I mean is before you call each client, try to recall what they do, what their kids do, what they belong to. If you can ask for a referral from a small population of a group, it's easier for them. If you ask them for any referral, they have to think of everyone in the world. But if you ask for someone from their bowling team or another dad from the kids' lacrosse team, it makes it easier for them to provide a referral from this smaller group. In terms of situation, you can ask about someone that's in a certain situation that makes them likely to be a good referral. So if you're a CPA, you may want to ask about people in certain financial situations like, do you know anybody getting their kids out of college or off to college or dealing with older parents moving in? So what situations would people be in that makes them good prospective clients for you? So the first thing to do now is print that PDF document below that outlines this whole process. The second thing to do is fill in the blanks, practice your call script, and get it comfortable before you try it out on a live client. Maybe ask a friend or a coworker to listen to you for practice. The third thing to do is start asking clients, either on the phone or in person, for referrals. And if you do this, I guarantee that you will get referrals. And the more you do it, and the more of a habit it becomes, the more effective you become, and the more referrals flow in all the time.
So once you know how to do this, and you're prepared to do this, you'll do it all the time. And the result is that you'll be getting great referrals from past and current clients all the time. So please feel free to share this with other people in your business or other business people that you know. You can share it with the social media buttons on this page, or you can forward the email that came to you. Now, if you're interested in getting monthly messages and tools and tactics like this in your inbox, click on the monthly program information button to learn how easy that is. So thank you, and do your best today to be clear, be energized, and be grateful.
Part 2, mini campaigns that help you reach anyone. Hey, Kevin Murray here, founder of Energize Your Business Programs. And today our topic is mini campaigns. And a mini campaign is really important if you're trying to get in front of somebody. So whether you're in sales or you're a business owner or you're just trying to influence somebody or make a new connection for any kind of project that you're up to and you need to expand your circle of people that you know, a mini campaign is a really great way to do that. And even a lot of seasoned professional salespeople can still get stuck in the habit of making a phone call, then making another phone call, making another phone call, and then they're frustrated that they're not getting response from the person they're trying to reach. So we're going to talk about how to solve that problem, why that happens the way it does, why it doesn't work, and we're going to give you a really easy step-by-step model that you'll be able to use again and again to get in front of the people that you're trying to reach. So I call it a mini campaign as contrasted with a big campaign by companies like Volkswagen or Apple or Coca-Cola or IBM. These companies spend billions of dollars and might have a year-long or a multi-year campaign, might involve Super Bowl ads. We don't have that kind of money, and we don't have that kind of time to mount these big, large campaigns. So mini campaign is designed to create a result, often getting in front of somebody, getting in touch with somebody. It could be recontacting a past client, could be engaging a partner that might help promote you to their business and their clients. So whatever your objective is, the mini campaign is designed to do it in really a shorter amount of time and with a very short budget or no cost at all. So before we get into the details of how you create a mini campaign, I want to talk a little bit about the 3 big reasons why it's so important that you think this way, and that it's important to, even for just trying to reach somebody, it's important to think about this concept of a mini campaign. So the first most important reason why we need to do things like this these days is we need to rise above the clutter. People have so many messages. Our mailboxes are full, our email boxes are full, our phone messages are full, we're getting messages. There's all kinds of stuff coming at us all the time. We need to rise above that if we're trying to reach somebody. So we have to have a campaign, not just call them again, try them again. I tried to email them and nothing happened. So that's the number one reason we want to consider this concept of a mini campaign, to give you more leverage, more power, and a greater opportunity to reach the people you want to reach or to influence the people that you want to influence. The number 2 reason, there's a couple different ways that people like to learn. They're called the dominant learning styles. And there's 3 different styles, and we don't necessarily know the people we're trying to reach, or even if we know them, we might not be that tuned into their learning styles. So it's important that we try all the different ones, because we're not quite sure what's the best way to reach them. So the first one is visual. Some people are extremely visual in how they like to learn. They see things, they consume content through their eyes. Now that may sound strange, but there's other ways that people like to learn and take in new information or get a new experience. So visual is really important, so we want to take advantage of that in a mini campaign sequence. The second one is auditory. Some people prefer to learn through listening. So that might mean we do email or do phone mail messages. We talk to people, we reach out using our voice, or we put sound in front of people through recordings, or send them to a video that might combine a little bit of the visual and the auditory. But we don't want to forget that that's more valid for some people. The third way is kinesthetic, and that's more touch and feel. So people want to put their hands on things, they want to feel something, they might want to smell it, they want to get their senses involved. So if we can craft our mini campaigns that take advantage of these 3 different primary ways that people learn, well, that'll give us a more likely outcome to reach the person, whatever their predominant way of taking in new information is. If we hit all of these, we might get them with one of them. So the third reason that we really want to consider using this concept of a mini campaign all the time is that people need multiple impressions to recognize and act on something new. Now there's a lot of studies out there, whether it's 5 or 7 or 9, we have to have a lot of impressions. You can't put an ad in the paper and hopefully people respond to it. So part of the idea that a mini campaign is that we're going to be reaching people over time in a nice and gentle way, but we're going to be creating these multiple impressions over time, and the goal is that they're going to respond to one of those. All right, now I want to share with you an example of a mini campaign, and I also want to point you to the download that accompanies this. There's a little PDF file that you can download that'll give you the fill-in-the-blank process so you can take notes while you're doing this. And it also, there's some kind of bonus ideas and some bonus tips that you'll get by reviewing that PDF that I'm not going to go through on the video right here. So an example of a mini campaign might be, just day 1, we're going to email somebody. And it really could be as simple as that. What's really important though is that we think about the email ahead of time, And we might also be trying to reach 10 or 20 or 30 people in this mini campaign. So once we craft the email, we can just send it to everybody individually. We can do a couple today, a few tomorrow, a few the next day. So we can kind of stagger our mini campaign over a number of beginning days depending on each person we're trying to reach. So day one is an email, and we want to have that email be something that's going to stimulate them to taking action. On day 4, maybe we make a phone call. Now these days, most of the time when you make a phone call, it's going to go to message. So you want to have a bit of a script for what it is that you want to say. And it's really important that your phone call and your email are really conveying the same message. They shouldn't be radically different. So the phone message should be prepared and planned. I always recommend that you try it out a couple times, record it and listen to it before you do it live with somebody or leave somebody a message. Make sure it feels comfortable. But a phone message could be your second step, let's say on day 4. So now they've gotten an email, that's something visual. They got a voicemail message, so they're hearing you, that's auditory. Then day 7, maybe we send them a letter. So a letter they're going to get, they're going to open it up, they're going to have it in their hands, they're going to be able to feel it, the paper's nice and the letterhead's nice. You know, that makes a nice impression for the people that like to take in new information that are a little more kinesthetic. So inside of a week, we've reached people 3 different ways, and maybe one of those is more likely to get their attention. Well, then day 10, maybe our mini campaign for this particular crowd, we send them a fax. That's actually another valid way of getting in front of people. And then maybe day 14, we could visit. We could stop by if they're nearby, if they're geographically, we can get to them. So the idea is that inside of 2 weeks with this campaign design, and there's infinite ways that you can do it, we've been in touch with them many different ways. If they're all mutually reinforcing and we're just trying to get in front of somebody, we want to make an introduction, it's a really nice, it's really respectful way to do it. Then we can go back to the start. After we've done this for 14 days, maybe we take a break for a week or 2, and then you can restart it again. The other thing I want to reinforce is that, let's say you have a list of 30 or 40 or 50 people that you're trying to reach through this mini campaign. You don't have to start them all on day 1. You can have day 1 could be Monday for the first group of 10. And then Tuesday, you start 10 more, and Wednesday, you start 10 more. And then on Thursday, well, we're making 10 phone calls to the people that were our day 1 emails. And then we've got the next group moving through. So we kind of stagger the group. So every day there's just a few emails, a few phone calls, a few letters. So it becomes really manageable, especially when you have all the different pieces lined out ahead of time and ready to go. If you have letters, they're pre-printed. If you have phone calls, they're scripted. If you have emails, they're written. So everything is really well prepared. So when it's time to execute the mini campaign, you're just good to go. You don't have to think about it or plan it. The planning stage is the first part. That's the most important part I'm talking about. Then you just show up every day and do what you need to do. So this is kind of like being the manager, and then you got to go do the work like the worker, and go through your mini campaign. These are some extra things that you can add into the mix that I use a lot. I really like. Send somebody a handwritten note. That's so powerful, and it's so rare. I like making up little note cards that are about the size of this, and it'll have a message on the front, and they open it up and it'll have a little handwritten note for me. And I get a lot of comments from people about how that was so cool. So it's so easy. It's the cost of a stamp, and it makes a huge impression, especially if you've layered it with some of these other touches. Another possibility is making a connection request. So if you're involved with any kind of network, or we think about who else might know this person, who could connect me with them, that could make an introduction on my behalf, and make it more likely for me to make that connection. And the final thing is social media. We can take advantage of social media. You just want to be really careful and thoughtful, because some people don't want to get a whole lot of outreach from social media people they don't know. But if we combine that with these other kind of touches, maybe a handwritten notice, maybe somebody that we know in common connects us, then we make a social media request. And at some point, these people are just going to be curious, like, who is this guy? Who is this gal that's been trying to reach me? I think I'm going to answer their phone call the next time they call. So that's the concept of why to do it and how to do it. Now that you've learned this, I would recommend that your first time out, try maybe a simple 2-step or 3-step. Just start easy, start simple. It could be as simple as a phone call followed up with an email, and you might find that that increases your percentages of reaching people. So again, there's a download that goes along with this that has some other great information. And other than that, this is part of a program of content and topics and tactics that I want to bring to you periodically. So if you're interested in more of this type of information, just look on this page for where you can do that. And if you think there's people that might be interested in that, please feel free to share this with them by email or by any of the social media connections that you have. And in the meantime, until I see you again, remember to be clear, be energized, and be grateful. Thank you. Part 3, the what, how, and why of your communications. So imagine that everyone is telling the best story about your business and working with you. So you are responsible for the story that people tell about you and your business. And if people are not telling your story, that's on you. If people are telling a story but not the one you want, that's on you too. So if people are sharing a great story about the impact that you make on them, their lives, their businesses, and this is a compelling story that engages new customers, well, this is how to break through to a new level of marketing and sales results. In this video, I'm going to share a concept called the what, the how, and the why. Let me tell a little story about this, but first, I'm Kevin Murray. I'm the founder of Energize Your Business programs here at EnergizeYou.com. I help business owners increase the value of their business for when they exit, and I help them increase their income every year until they're ready to exit. So years ago, there were some great big computer companies like Apollo and DEC, and they were marketing at the level of what. They talked about what they did. We make big computers for businesses and institutions, and they did well for a while, but they're gone now. They don't exist anymore. Some companies like Dell, Hewlett-Packard talked about how they made computers with Intel chips inside and Windows operating systems and made in America and very clean fabrication facilities. This story of how is a little more compelling and provides a greater value perception to the clients. So there's a company that does a great job of selling at the level of why. They're called Apple. And you see an ad with a grandma talking to a grandchild on a video phone and they can see each other. So that's the why behind the product. They're not selling the what of we make technology and phones. They're not selling the how of clean fabrication and engineered in California. They're sharing the why, that you can talk to your loved ones real time and see their face. They also show people making great music with GarageBand and sharing it with the world, or shooting a video and sharing that online. So their why is about connecting people and inspiring people to create and share themselves, and they have become one of the most valuable companies in the world. So most business people, when asked, what is it that you do, will answer with something like, well, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a contractor, I sell pharmaceuticals, I'm a small business owner. Well, that's accurate, but answering at the level of what is not very compelling. Unless the person you're talking to needs your service right now, you haven't given them a great reason to remember you or refer anyone to you. We all start selling our business at the level of what, and I did too. I thought if I told enough people what I did, that would bring in a bunch of new clients, and I had to work very hard and put in a lot of hours working at the level of what. My next step in storytelling was talking about how I did what I did in addition to what I did. By adding the how, I was able to share my expertise and approach and process, and people liked that deeper education, and sharing the what and the how created a better story and better results. Finally, I started thinking about the deeper benefits that my clients got, which became my why. So why does it matter if I do my work well, and how do I share that? So when I hear my clients talking about their businesses after we've done this piece, they're lit up and excited about what they do by talking about the why. And it really makes a difference to the listener or the viewer or the reader, however you're doing your marketing. So once you land on your why, then you need to embed that in everything that you do, how you promote, market, sell, and deliver your product or service. You need to ask all the time, if this is my why, then how will I make sure that it's built in when we answer the phone, or we do a new website, or we make a presentation to a new client? The why has to be embedded in all parts of the business. And when you do that, you put yourself in a place that's hard to compete with versus most other businesses that talk about the what and the how. So here's how to do this. Write out the what. What do you do? What else do you do? What other products and services do you provide? Now, the how and the why might be different for different products, so you might need to do this process with each one. Step 2 is write out the how. How do you do this? With what expertise, with what steps or sequence in your process? Do you do it with a guarantee or a warranty? Do you do it with a system you learned or created? Do you have credentials or education or training that has you be an expert in this? That's all the how. Now the why, and bear with me here. So what is it that you do well? Like, so what that you do it well? What does the customer really get from that? Now take that answer you just came up with and ask again, well, so what? So what did they get that? And then you keep asking and answering so what until your answer is deeply serving the client. So for example, if your what is I sell insurance, your how might be by reviewing clients' needs and risks and researching and recommending premium rates versus coverage levels and helping them select a policy. But the why is ultimately something like, when I do this well, my customers get peace of mind that they have the right coverage at the best rate for their families. Well, so what? Well, I help my clients protect their most valuable assets so they can put their energy and attention into their lives and their dreams and know that we have them covered. So would you rather provide that level of care or just sell insurance? So once you come up with your why, start to ask how that can show up in your marketing and your service. Make it a habit to ask, how is my why showing up today? So if you want to share your journey with me about how you moved from what and how to why, and what you learned along the way, and how people respond to your why, I'd love to hear about it. If you got some value from this today, please share this with your friends and associates, and feel free to share this by email on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, however you share. Thank you for watching this today, and be on the lookout for other tips and topics and tools for your prosperous life. Thank you.